This is the Fender Hot Rod DeVille. It's a tube amp, 60 watt tube amp with 4 10s. Weighs a little over 50 pounds, so it's kind of heavy if you're used to carrying a small amp, but the tone quality is well worth it. We're going to look at the control panel. The first thing we've got over here is an on-off switch, and we also have a standby switch, and right now we're in standby, so it's not going to make any noise. Pilot light's on. This cable here goes to the foot switch, which is a 2-button foot switch that can flip you from channel to channel. It's got channel select, drive, and more drive, and whether you're in the clean channel or the dirty channel, you can still flip it to the more drive, so that when I do flip it over there and you see the red light on there, we've gone to all the distortion I can get, and I can go back to the clean channel. While it's in the clean channel, I can select drive or more drive. You can see that goes from green, that's just drive, to red, and that won't affect the sound while I'm in the clean channel. It just gets me ready for when I go to my solo. When I do go to that drive channel, I can just click it there and I'm into whichever one I pre-selected. Now let's look at the controls over here from the left. There's 2 inputs. You're probably only going to use one input. It's not like the old 2-channel amps where you'd have a mic and a guitar plugged in. Now we've got a normal bright switch, and the normal and bright switch affects the clean channel, and we have our volume right here for the clean channel. The next knob is drive, and that affects how much distortion you've got in the dirty channel, the one that they call drive or more drive. And this switch here can be used if you don't have the foot switch in. This will throw you from channel to channel, but once the foot switch is in, the foot switch controls that. Then we've got treble, bass, and mid-range, which they call middle. Now you notice all the knobs are off. When I'm not using my amplifier, I spin all the knobs to the off position. If you're in a humid environment and the knobs start to corrode, you don't want them to get that scratchy sound in the place where you always play. So when I'm done with the show or done rehearsing, I turn the knobs all to the 0 position. Now for playing, if you're just starting out, I spin everything to 12 o'clock straight up and down, and that way when I do start playing I can adjust my tone from there, but I'm in the middle. This amp already sounds good when it's in the middle, and a good amp will. If it's well designed, it should sound good with everything in the 12 o'clock position. Then we have our master volume. That's the post volume for the drive channel. This is where you'll control how loud the drive channel is. The other one, the drive channel, is just going to control how much distortion you have. As you increase the drive, the volume will go up, and so if you've increased the drive, you might have to adjust the master again to get it to blend against the clean channel when you jump back and forth with the foot switch. The reverb on this is pretty good, but I'm going to start it off in the halfway position just so that you'll hear how powerful the reverb is. Now this amp has plenty of presence, and because I like a nice smooth distortion, I keep the presence down unless I need to cut through the mix, and that's usually not a problem with 60 watts. So I start with the presence off, but if you want to, you can start with it in 12 o'clock and adjust from there. But I know this amp pretty well. I'm going to start with the presence off. I've got the reverb pretty high. I've got the master at about between 2 and 3. I've got the drive at about 5, and this is numbered to 12, so that you know that 3 is only about a quarter of the way. The normal channel I'm going to put about 3 o'clock. So I've got that about 3. I've got that between 2 and 3. And the rest of my controls will adjust once we hear what this sounds like with the guitar. Now what I am going to do, over here I have a preamp out and a power amp in. And I take this preamp out to a 25K volume pedal, and from the volume pedal back into the power amp in. Now those of you that see me play live, see me use that volume pedal, wonder how come I can get such smooth control of the volume without affecting the distortion. And that's because it's a volume pedal with a 25K pot, so that it's looking for an active signal. And coming out of here, I've got that active signal. My volume control is after my distortion. So I can bring it up and down real smooth without affecting the distortion. We'll hear what that sounds like next.